أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم
شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو بڑا مہربان نہایت رحم والا ہے.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
طاسیم میم
Ta, Sin, Mim.
تلك آیات الکتاب المبین
تاسیم میم، یہ کتاب روشن کی آیتیں ہیں.
These are the verses of the clear book.
لعلك باخع نفسك ألا يكونوا مؤمنين.
اے پیغمبر، شاید تم اس رنج سے کہ یہ لوگ ایمان نہیں لاتے اپنے تئیں ہلاک کر دو گے.
Perhaps, O Muhammad, you would kill yourself with grief that they will not be believers.
إن نشأ ننزل عليهم من السماء آية فظلت أعناقهم لها خاضعين.
اگر ہم چاہیں تو ان پر آسمان سے نشانی اتار دیں، پھر ان کی گردنیں اس کے آگے جھک جائیں.
If we willed, we could send down to them from the sky a sign for which their necks would remain humbled.
وما يأتيهم من ذكر من الرحمن محدث إلا كانوا عنه معرضين.
اور ان کے پاس خدائے رحمان کی طرف سے کوئی نئی نصیحت نہیں آتی مگر اس سے منہ پھیر لیتے ہیں.
And no revelation comes to them anew from the Most Merciful, except that they turn away from it.
فقد كذبوا فسيأتيهم أنباء ما كانوا به يستهزئون.
سو یہ تو جھٹلا چکے، اب ان کو اس چیز کی حقیقت معلوم ہوگی جس کی ہنسی اڑاتے تھے.
For they have already denied, but there will come to them the news of that which they used to ridicule.
أولم يروا إلى الأرض كم أنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم.
کیا انہوں نے زمین کی طرف نہیں دیکھا کہ ہم نے اس میں ہر قسم کی کتنی نفیس چیزیں اگائی ہیں.
Did they not look at the earth, how much we have produced therein from every noble kind?
إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين.
کچھ شک نہیں کہ اس میں قدرت خدا کی نشانی ہے، مگر یہ اکثر ایمان لانے والے نہیں.
Indeed, in that is a sign, but most of them were not to be believers.
وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ.
اور تمہارا پروردگار غالب اور مہربان ہے.
And indeed, your Lord, He is the exalted in might, the merciful.
وَإِذْ نَادَى رَبُّكَ مُوسَىٰ أَنِ ائْتِ الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ.
اور جب تمہارے پروردگار نے موسیٰ کو پکارا کہ ظالم لوگوں کے پاس جاؤ.
And mentioned when your Lord called Moses, saying, Go to the wrongdoing people.
قَوْمَ فِرْعَوْنَ أَلَا يَتَّقُونَ.
یعنی قوم فرعون کے پاس کیا یہ ڈرتے نہیں؟
The people of Pharaoh, will they not fear Allah?
قال رب إني أخاف أن يكذبون.
انہوں نے کہا کہ میرے پروردگار، میں ڈرتا ہوں کہ یہ مجھے جھوٹا سمجھیں.
He said, My Lord, indeed I fear that they will deny me.
وَيَضِيقُ صَدْرِي وَلَا يَنطَلِقُ لِسَانِي فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَى هَارُونَ
اور میرا دل تنگ ہوتا ہے اور میری زبان رکتی ہے، تو ہارون کو حکم بھیج کہ میرے ساتھ چلے.
And that my breast will tighten and my tongue will not be fluent. So send for Aaron.
وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنبٌ فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونِ.
اور ان لوگوں کا مجھ پر ایک گناہ یعنی قبطی کے خون کا دعویٰ بھی ہے، سو مجھے یہ بھی ڈر ہے کہ مجھ کو مار ہی ڈالیں.
And they have upon me a claim due to sin, so I fear that they will kill me.
قَالَ كَلَّا فَاذْهَبَا بِآيَاتِنَا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ مُسْتَمِعُونَ.
فرمایا ہرگز نہیں، تم دونوں ہماری نشانیاں لے کر جاؤ، ہم تمہارے ساتھ سننے والے ہیں.
Allah said, "No, go both of you with our signs. Indeed, we are with you, listening."
فَأْتِيَا فِرْعَوْنَ فَقُولَا إِنَّا رَسُولُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
تو دونوں فرعون کے پاس جاؤ اور کہو کہ ہم تمام جہان کے مالک کے بھیجے ہوئے ہیں.
Go to Pharaoh and say, "We are the messengers of the Lord of the worlds."
أَنْ أَرْسِلْ مَعَنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ.
اور اس لیے آئے ہیں کہ آپ بنی اسرائیل کو ہمارے ساتھ جانے کی اجازت دیں.
Commanded to say, "Send with us the children of Israel."
قال ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك سنين.
فرعون نے موسیٰ سے کہا، کیا ہم نے تم کو کہ ابھی بچے تھے پرورش نہیں کیا اور تم نے برسوں ہمارے ہاں عمر بسر نہیں کی؟
Pharaoh said, "Did we not raise you among us as a child, and you remained among us for years of your life?"
وفعلت فعلتك التي فعلت وأنت من الكافرين.
اور تم نے ایک اور کام کیا تھا جو کیا، تم ناشکرے معلوم ہوتے ہو.
And then you did your deed which you did, and you were of the ungrateful.
قال فعلتها إذا وأنا من الضالين.
موسیٰ نے کہا کہ ہاں، وہ حرکت مجھ سے ناگہاں سرزد ہوئی تھی اور میں خطا کاروں میں تھا.
Moses said, "I did it then, while I was of those astray."
ففررت منكم لما خفتكم فوهب لي ربي حكما وجعلني من المرسلين.
تو جب مجھے تم سے ڈر لگا تو تم میں سے بھاگ گیا، پھر اللہ نے مجھ کو نبوت و علم بخشا اور مجھے پیغمبروں میں سے کیا.
So I fled from you when I feared you. Then my Lord granted me wisdom and prophethood, and appointed me as one of the messengers.
وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ أَنْ عَبَّدتَّ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ.
اور کیا یہی احسان ہے جو آپ مجھ پر رکھتے ہیں کہ آپ نے بنی اسرائیل کو غلام بنا رکھا ہے؟
And is this a favor of which you remind me, that you have enslaved the children of Israel?
قال فرعون وما رب العالمين.
فرعون نے کہا کہ تمام جہان کا مالک کیا؟
Said Pharaoh, "And what is the Lord of the worlds?"
قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين.
کہا کہ آسمانوں اور زمین اور جو کچھ ان دونوں میں ہے سب کا مالک، بشرطے کہ تم لوگوں کو یقین ہو.
Moses said, "The Lord of the heavens and earth and that between them, if you should be convinced."
قال لمن حوله ألا تستمعون.
فرعون نے اپنے اہالی موالی سے کہا کہ کیا تم سنتے نہیں؟
Pharaoh said to those around him, "Do you not hear?"
قال ربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين
موسیٰ نے کہا کہ تمہارا اور تمہارے پہلے باپ دادا کا مالک.
Moses said, Your Lord and the Lord of your first forefathers.
قال إن رسولكم الذي أرسل إليكم لمجنون
فرعون نے کہا کہ یہ پیغمبر جو تمہاری طرف بھیجا گیا ہے باولا ہے.
Pharaoh said, Indeed, your messenger who has been sent to you is mad.
قال رب المشرق والمغرب وما بينهما إن كنتم تعقلون.
موسیٰ نے کہا کہ مشرق اور مغرب اور جو کچھ ان دونوں میں ہے سب کا مالک بشرطے کہ تم کو سمجھ ہو.
Moses said, Lord of the east and the west and that between them, if you were to reason.
قال لئن اتخذت إلها غيري لأجعلنك من المسجونين.
فرعون نے کہا کہ اگر تم نے میرے سوا کسی اور کو معبود بنایا تو میں تمہیں قید کر دوں گا.
Pharaoh said, If you take a god other than me, I will surely place you among those imprisoned.
قال أولو جئتك بشيء مبين.
موسیٰ نے کہا خواہ میں آپ کے پاس روشن چیز لاؤں یعنی معجزہ.
Moses said, Even if I brought you proof manifest.
قال فأت به إن كنت من الصادقين.
فرعون نے کہا اگر سچے ہو تو اسے لاؤ دکھاؤ.
Pharaoh said, Then bring it, if you should be of the truthful.
فألقى عصاه فإذا هي ثعبان مبين.
بس انہوں نے اپنی لاٹھی ڈال دی تو وہ اسی وقت صریح اژدہا بن گئی.
So Moses threw his staff, and suddenly it was a serpent manifest.
ونزع يده فإذا هي بيضاء للناظرين.
اور اپنا ہاتھ جو نکالا تو اسی دم دیکھنے والوں کے لیے سفید براق نظر آنے لگا.
And he drew out his hand. Thereupon it was white for the observers.
This surah is the largest Makki surah regarding the number of ayat, 227. But it has only 11 sections. Actually, one thing if you keep in mind, that the Makki surahs, we can divide them into 3 periods. 12 years of stay at Makkah after the beginning of Wahi and before the Hijrah. And we can divide them in equal 3 parts. First 4 years, middle 4 years, last 4 years. In the first 4 years, the surahs which were revealed, they have very small ayat. There is a music, divine music. There is a fast flow. Ayat are small. These are the 3 qualities of the ayat of the surahs which were revealed in the first 4 years. Then in the middle 4 years, now ayat are becoming larger and larger. Now that melody is not so apparent. That music is not so apparent. It is there, but not so apparent. And then in the final 4 years, they are mostly like the Madani surahs. Ayat are very large and there is a flow. But that flow is like the flow of a river, not, the ocean, So these are the qualities. Then the surahs which were revealed in the first 4 years, they are included in the last 2 groups of Makki Madani surahs mostly. And the surahs which were revealed in the middle 4 years, they are included in the middle 2 groups of the surahs, Makki or Madani surahs groups. And the surahs which were revealed in the last 4 years, they were those surahs which were included in the first 2 groups, An'am, Araf, 2, and then from Yunus, Hud, etc., to Suratul Mu'minun. But there are certain, exceptions to these rules. Surah Al-Hijr in the second group, that belongs to, as regards revelation, to the first 4-year period. In the same way, this Surah Al-Shu'ara, although it is included in the middle two groups, but it belongs to the period, it's as regards revelation, to the period of first 4 years. It has all the qualities, small ayat, rhythm, flow, and a music, divine music we should say. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Tasim Mim. Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. These are the ayat of the clear book, manifest book. لَعَلَّكَ بَاقِعٌ نَفْسَكَ أَلَّا يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. Maybe, O Muhammad, you are going to kill yourself, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, due to grief that they are not believing. Such was the grief of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that they are not listening to me even. What to speak of accepting my da'wah. إِن نَشَأْ نُنَزِّلْ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. If we wish, we can send down on them a sign from the heaven. فَظَلَّتْ أَعْنَاقُهُمْ لَهَا خَاضِعِينَ. So then their necks would remain bowed in humility. Because they used to say, show us a miracle. If you claim that you are a messenger just as Jesus and Moses, you have to show us the miracles. Because you yourself say that such and such and such and such miracles were given to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and even greater miracles were given to Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So show us the miracle. We have, discussed this subject in Surah Al-An'am. Allah had decided we are not going to show them any such evident and visible miracle. The real miracle of Muhammad is this Quran. Nobody in the past also believed because of miracles. The Jews never accepted Hazrat Isa as a messenger, seeing all the biggest possible miracles were given to Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Then 9 miracles were given to Hazrat Musa, but Pharaoh didn't come to believe. So there's no use. But if we show such a miracle, then their term will come to an end, and then, the punishment will start. So Allah is kind to them. He wants to extend their term. Maybe if they have not understood now, maybe they understand tomorrow. So it is the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is not showing such a visible and evident miracle. But if we like, we can send any miracle, any sign at any time. وَمَا يَأْتِيهِم مِّن ذِكْرٍ مِّنَ الرَّحْمَٰنِ مُحْدَثٍ إِلَّا كَانُوا عَنْهُ مُعْرِضِينَ. And there doesn't come to them a new admonition, but they turn away, they don't listen to it. فَقَدْ كَذَّبُوا. So they have now belied. فَسَيَأْتِيهِمْ أَنْبَاءُ مَا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. And soon now they will have the tidings of what they used to mock at. Oh, Azab will come. Oh Muhammad, why don't you bring it? Bring it soon. But then a time will come, they will see that chastisement with their eyes. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَمْ أَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجٍ كَرِيمٍ. Have not they seen to the earth how much we have caused to grow the noble kinds of things in it? إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً. In that is the sign. This nature is full of signs. These phenomena of the nature, each one of them is a big sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Shaykh Sadi says, barge darakhtan sabz, dar nazar hoshyar, har waraqe daftar saz marifat kirdegar. The leaves of the trees, the green leaves of the trees, each one of these leaves is a big sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for those who ponder over this. Inna fi dhalika al-aya wa ma kana aktharuhum mu'minin. But most of them are not going to believe. Wa inna rabbaka lahu al-azizur rahim. And definitely your Lord is all powerful, but He is also merciful. This is the place where with Al-Aziz, Al-Rahim is being repeated. Mostly with Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim is repeated in Quran. This pair of two names, Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. But here, Al-Aziz, Al-Rahim. Because it is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is not sending down any visible miracle. Because if He does so, their term will come to an end. And then, the matter will be decided for them. وَإِذْ نَادَى رَبُّكَ مُوسَى أَنِ ائْتِ الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And remember, when your Lord called upon Musa alayhi salam that go to the evil-doing people, Qawm of Fir'aun, that is me, I mean the people of Fir'aun, أَلَا يَتَّقُونَ. Do they not fear? قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُكَذِّبُونَ. Musa said, O my Lord, I fear that they will belie me. وَيَضِيقُ صَدْرِي. And my chest shrinks. Why? وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي. And my tongue is also not fluent. So I fear. And due to fear, my chest shrinks. فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَىٰ هَارُونَ. So send for Harun. You should assign this mission to Harun. وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنْبٌ. And they have a crime against me. I had killed one of them. And so, فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونَ. I fear that when I go, return to them, they will kill me. Because I had killed a person. That we shall find in the next surah, Suratul Qasas, the whole story of how an Egyptian was killed by Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Qala kalla. The reply from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came, no. Fazhaba, now go both of you. Granted that Harun will accompany you. Fazhaba bi ayatina inna ma'akum mustami'un. Now go with our signs and we shall be with you listening. Fatiya Fir'aun. Now go to Fir'aun. Faqula, and say, both of you, Inna Rasul Rabbil Alameen. We are the messenger of the Lord of the worlds. An arsil ma'ana Bani Israel. The demand is, now let Bani Israel go with us. Qala alam nurabbika fina walida. Now, Fir'aun says, didn't we raise you up and we brought you up in our household when you were an infant? You came to our palace as an infant, as a child. We brought you up. So this is the reward that you are giving us. Alam nurabbika fina walida. Walabista fina min umrika bisnin. And you lived with us several years of your life. And then you did that crime which you committed. Wanta min al-kafirin. And you were from among the very ungrateful people. Qala fa'altuha idhan wa ana min ad-dallin. Musa said, yes, I committed that mistake. But at that time, I was myself ignorant one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not at that time, till that time, given me this position of prophethood and messengerhood. So, that mistake was committed by me. فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ. So I ran away from you to save my life because at that time I was fearing you. فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا. Now my Lord has given me a command. وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And He has made me one of the messengers. وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ. Now is coming the reply. When Pharaoh had said, we brought you up in our house when you were only a child. Now the reply is coming, وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ. You are mentioning your favor to me, that you brought me up in your palace. An abbatta Bani Israel. And you just forget that you have made whole of my nation Bani Israel slave. You made all the Bani Israel slave. But if you could, bring up one child from among the Bani Israel, you are mentioning it as a very big favor done to me. Qala Fir'aunu wama Rabbul Alameen. Fir'aun said, and who is this Rabbul Alameen? The Lord of all the worlds. Qala Rabbus samawati wal ardi wama bainahuma. Musa replied, the Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is in between them, in kuntum muqinin, if you are to be convinced. Qala liman hawlahu ala tastami'un. Now he said to the chieftains and the courtiers who were around him, addressing them, liman hawlahu ala tastami'un. Are you listening to what this man is saying? Are you listening? There is very, baseless thing that he is saying. قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ وَرَبُّ آبَائِكُمُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. But Musa continues, He is your Lord and also the Lord of your forefathers of the ancient times. قَالَ إِنَّ رَسُولَكُمُ الَّذِي أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْكُمْ لَمَجْنُونَ. Again he is addressing his courtiers, his chieftains. Verily, this messenger which has been sent to you seems to be mad. He has gone crazy. His mental balance is not correct. قال رب السماوات رب المشرق والمغرب وما بينهما إن كنتم تعقلون. But Hazrat Musa is continuing. He is the Lord of the East and the Lord of the West and the Lord of everything which is in between the East and West. In kuntum taqilun, only if you can understand. قال لئن اتخذت إلها غيري لأجعلنك من المسجونين. Now he says, as a king, if you take anyone else as God, except me, لأجعلنك من المسجونين, I will throw you in the prison. I will imprison you. I have told you he was like a younger brother to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. The father had, given up the throne because of old age. But now he was the Pharaoh. Although the senior Pharaoh was also alive, he had not died. But now the ruler was this junior Pharaoh. And he did respect and love Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam because they were brought up together in the palace. But now, regarding, the empire and, their system, they have to defend them. They want status quo, no change. قَالَ لَئِنِ اتَّخَذْتَ إِلَهًا غَيْرِي. And they people said that we are the Lord. أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. All this country, Egypt, is in my hands. أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ وَهَٰذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِي. The government of Egypt is in my hand. And all the irrigation system is under my control. So I am the Lord. I don't know any other Lord for you except me. لَئِنِ اتَّخَذْتَ إِلَهًا غَيْرِي لَأَجْعَلَنَّكَ مِنَ الْمَسْجُونِينَ. قَالَ أَوَلَوْ جِئْتُكَ بِشَيْءٍ مُبِينٍ. Now Musa said, although I might bring to you a very clear sign, قَالَ فَاتِ بِهِ إِن كُنْتَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Pharaoh said, okay, bring forth. If you are truthful, bring forth the sign that you have. فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. Now he put down his staff and it became a serpent, clearly visible serpent. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. And then he took out his hand from his bosom, and for those who were seeing, it became white, shining.